Good afternoon, everybody. Been quite an eventful last 24 hours. Big news, I got messaged by X-Team, a member of the Discord group, who alerted me, and I believe has alerted several other people, but I have since messaged them, that amazingly, if you look at one of the removed Ken Kratz videos, the first one, Convincing You Were Fooled, I believe it's called. I'll leave the link below. When it comes to the bits of the video where the screen goes black and there is just text, if you turn the brightness full up, as I did on my TV screen, you get an image which is remarkably that of, looks like it could easily be Teresa Holbach, certainly going by the hairstyle, but you judge for yourself, a deceased Teresa Holbach, just a face. And as I say, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if Ken Kratz was pulling games, being the type of person we know him to be. It would not be at all surprising if he wasn't if he thinks he's cleverer than everybody else. It would not surprise me in the slightest if he didn't want to have this sort of power over everybody else, whereby he knows something that he thinks we don't. That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. And to embed it's throughout the video, as I say. If you go to the bit where the screen goes black with just the text along the middle, then put the brightness up and you'll see exactly what I mean. So many thanks to X-Team for sending me that. We don't know where the picture came from, obviously. What we do know is who supplied the soundtrack. So I've sent an email to the Felician Studios that did the soundtrack to see if they can enlighten us on any of the production of that video and images used. Maybe not, but you never know. Some of the other people that have been contacted about it, Millbilly, I know, Dr. Silkman, I've contacted Eric Jose, but he'll be in the land of Zeds, and our Australian supporters. So yes, the word is being spread about. So many thanks to X-Team for sending me that information, and yes, Kathleen Zellner has also been informed. I suppose she's the most important one, undoubtedly. So more to follow on that, undoubtedly. Maybe some of the YouTubers that have got more technical experience and the ability to share images on a video will get we'll get to see some more video presentations about it. Looking at, I've been doing, as I say, videos about false confessions. For a long time now, I've been asking the question, has anybody ever in the history of American legal system been exonerated based purely on their false confession being overturned? In other words, through basically, rather than the science of DNA, but not through DNA at all, but simply through the science of false confessions. And of course, we know that in Making a Murderer Series 2, we had the episode called A Legal Miracle. I believe that had Brendan been exonerated and released as a result of his confession being overturned, I think he would have been the first, based purely, as I say, on the science of wrongful confessions. In actual fact, I found an article where Saul Kassan, who is one of the leading lights of the false confession science, actually helped in getting a man exonerated, a fellow called Huey Burton, who in 1991, as a 16-year-old, was forced to confess that he had killed his mother. In actual fact, it wasn't him at all, of course, but he was given 15 years to life, as a 16-year-old. After 20 years, so that was 2011, he was released, but on parole, which meant that he was still, fully guilty of a crime that he never committed, up until they managed to get him fully exonerated, and a Bronx court judge dismissed the charges against him, exonerated him, and that was just, the article I came across was 2019, so that was 2018. So there we have, and in the article it mentions the fact that it was the, for me, the holy grail of wrongful confessions, the one that was based purely on the science of wrongful confessions. This is how far we've come. We've got hundreds of examples of wrongful convictions based on confessions where DNA evidence has then gone on to prove otherwise. But this was groundbreaking in that it was the first one. Finally, to all those that entered the riddle, thank you very much for your answers. I've seen 2 that have got it absolutely spot on, so many congratulations to Chloe and Chad. The answer being, it's one of these, it was actually my daughter that had me going on this one for about an hour. I managed to figure it out bit by bit by bit. March is the name of the place in Cambridgeshire. So twin boys, I didn't mention the fact they were boys, but it didn't matter. So these twin boys are born in March, but their birthday is in April because March is the place. One of them is 30. Well, the other one must also be 30. So I said 32 TOO. So one is 30, the other is 30 as well, or 2. Finally, when they get older, they marry each other because they become vicars, and they take it in turns to perform the ceremony for the other twins' wedding. Okay, so as I say, many thanks for tuning in and having a go at that one. We'll see if I can find a few more for you. I have to ask my daughter for them. She loves those sort of riddles, which really do take some figuring out. Anyway, say watch not just myself, but also I suspect that likes of the Dude, Eric Cose, Millbilly, Rubber Ducky, Foul Play, the other channels that we regularly tune into. Apologies if my mind has gone blank. I'm trying to think of the other channels that you would regularly go to. Anyway, all the usual places. I'm sure that this is something that will be covered in a lot more detail. It is so unerringly, you can tell by the hair, although obviously the picture is slightly pixelated, but it wouldn't surprise anybody because of the nature that Ken Kratz is, to want to, the description of the video is convincing everybody they were fooled. That is just the sort of fun that Kratz would love to have. And as I say, for him to think that for him to be able to go around thinking, I know something that nobody else knows, that would just fill him with just fill him up. It would. So anyway, be interesting to see what develops as a result of that particular video and image. And of course, it means that it'll probably be a case of having a look at some of the other videos that he did. I believe he did 5 or 6, to see if there's any hidden messages in them. With as I say, the Discord member Eggstein, we actually both discussed the fact that this was a phenomenon that goes way back. There was this phenomenon that goes way back of when making a film, you just put the occasional image in a film, which the eyes don't really see, but do they? Because then it has this psychological effect. Apparently, Coca-Cola used to splice in, a picture of a Coca-Cola bottle or a glass of Coke in order to make you feel thirsty. I also remember watching an episode of Columbo where, again, a film had just one frame of, I think it was peanuts, that made the person feel thirsty. And so therefore, it was psychologically, although when you watch the film, you don't realise that you've seen this Coca-Cola bottle or the peanuts. The brain does actually take it in and reacts to that image that it momentarily saw. Anyway, catch you all again soon. Thanks for tuning in, and bye for now.